Then at this time, this is when we were, are you really eating cherries right now?
It tastes really good. You want some?
Yeah, no, I don't want some. I'm trying to do this video, but I guess, so you're gonna respond with a cherry in your mouth?
I'm gonna finish, go ahead.
Okay.
Love, 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 long as we got love, love, love.
So at this time, this is when Tiana and I were like hanging out with a group of friends. We would go to like open mics, and so we were in this group chat, and we just started talking about food or mac and cheese or something.
It was about Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And everybody knew I could cook, but I wanted to make sure he knew I could cook. Because at this point, I pretty much started liking him. But I was kind of in denial. Like, a part of me was like, didn't want to admit it. And then I remember the day I realized, like, okay, Tiana, you can't fake it no more. Like, you like this guy. It was Saturday, and I was sitting on my bed, and I was texting Christiana, and I was telling her, and she was just like, I knew it. She was like, duh. And I was like, what do you mean, duh?
Wow.
Everybody acted like they knew before me. And so,
they both acted like it.
I know. And that's when I was texting you, and you were like, is this Clarice?
Yeah. Yeah, so at that time, we were like, I mean, I kind of felt like in that group chat, I kind of felt like she started liking me, because even when we hanged out, I mean, I would try to flirt with her a little bit. I think there was one time where I was pretending like I was about to kiss her, and she was like, boy, what you doing? I wasn't gonna kiss her, but I was pretending I was.
Wait a minute.
And then there would be times when we'd be going out to eat, and she was like, she tried to pretend like I'm her husband, so I had to buy her food. I was like, well, are you my wife? Because then,
oh yeah.
Like,
and I would tell you to bring me food.
She be trying to take advantage using these names, these titles, and I'm like, well.
I used to be like, what did I say? I was like, bring food, and I texted him one day and was like, bring food, and he was like, bring ring.
Bring ring.
That was funny.
She was getting a little too comfortable with all that free food, talking about bringing her some food. I said, put a ring on it first. And then, no, but then, yeah, we started talking a little more right before Thanksgiving, and I just felt a shift in our conversation, in our text, because I was like, wait, hold on. I was like, is this Tiana or is this Clarice? Because at that time, she was living with Clarice. And
I had a roommate, and he thought my roommate was texting him because I was being nicer.
Yeah.
And open to a relationship. Yeah,
because throughout all of our conversations when we were friends, and even when we started like building interest, we talked a lot. Well, she talked a lot about not wanting to be married until like 5 years. But even as a friend, before I even started like liking her or pursuing her, I told her, nah, I think you'll be married in like 2 years.
I was so offended when he told me that. I was like, who do you think you are, first of all?
And we're here 2 years later, and
we're getting married.
Yeah. So we had a turkey bowl with our church for Thanksgiving, and I had basically told her if she can make me some, and she was like, no.
Some mac and cheese.
Yeah, some mac and cheese. And I was actually really excited about this Thanksgiving, because this was my first This was my first Thanksgiving with my new church, which was
All Nations Worship Center.
No, which was Kingdom Culture.
But now.
And now it's All Nations Worship Center in San Bernardino. So I actually asked my apostles if I can spend Thanksgiving with them, which I did. And all the food was great at Apostles' house. Then I went to my family's house. It was great too. So everyone, had their own mac and cheese. But I had to admit, and I'm admitting to the world, that Tiana's mac and cheese was the best mac and cheese. Not just on that Thanksgiving, but that I've ever had. So yeah, but it was funny though, because when I was trying to tell her to bring me some or make me some, she was like, nah, I can't do that. And then she was like, I was like, nah, for real, make me some. And then she was like, nah,
I was like, no, I'm not bringing you no mac and cheese. I said I got a reputation to uphold, because listen, they had this turkey bowl, and it was going to be a whole bunch of guys at this park playing football, and I was going to be the only female there because I was recording it for our church. And he wanted me to bring him some mac and cheese, and everybody would have saw it. I was like, no, 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 no. But in my head, I was like, I'm gonna bring you some mac and cheese.
And it was so funny, because like I didn't even think about it. Like I was just, the game was over, it was packing, and then next thing you know, I turn around like about to start walking, and I see Big Mike coming over with like a package, and I already knew. I was like, oh shoot. And
he was my messenger, because I wasn't gonna give it to him in person.
Yeah, so when Mike gave it to me, we both started laughing, because we already knew, like, oh yeah, basically now I knew that she liked me and I liked her, so now the pursuit was on.
It was on.
Yep. So from Thanksgiving, the next month,
we went to work again.
Yeah.
Together, and that night we were driving separately, but we spoke on the phone sometimes to make sure that we stayed up, because you could get real tired driving home, that long hour-and-a-half drive. And my drive was shorter than yours because I lived closer. So we were on the phone and we were talking, and I was basically like encouraging him about like how great of a husband he would be to someone, but I was really talking about me.
Babe, I thought we had that conversation in person.
No, babe, this was on the phone. Remember, I was driving.
I could have sworn there was one night when we were driving in here, and you were talking, and
we probably had more than one conversation.
Yeah, I think it was more than one.
But no,
so
better be funny. So I was telling him how great of a husband he was gonna be to somebody, and then just encouraging him like, "Boop, your wife gonna be lucky." What you singing?
Oh, somebody. Right.
I don't know that song.
You just don't know right now. But you're saying.
So then we got home. Well, I got home and I was just like, man, that was a great conversation. And the next morning, I wake up to a nice little good morning text, and he was like, "Good morning. Would you like some coffee before church?"
They said, "We don't play no games."
I said,
I was on it.
"Well, amen." He brought me coffee to church. And in my head, I'm thinking, okay, this guy's probably like going to get coffee for a few people. I was thinking it wasn't just me. And I was also waiting for him to ask me for money, because I really didn't think you were just trying to like get me coffee. And then I get to church, and I remember he brought me coffee, and you were fasting that day. Like you were fasting or doing the juice thing. You were juicing. And I was like, wait a minute. He went and got me coffee. He didn't get nobody else coffee, and he's not even getting coffee. And that's when I was like, okay, maybe he likes me. And then the minute I knew I started liking you, it was so crazy. Like I started like, I felt uncomfortable because like when I don't like nobody, I feel really independent. I feel really like on my, you know, game. But once I like someone, I feel like that vulnerability scares me. So it's like, once I liked him, I immediately was like worried, like dang, because now I naturally want his attention. But what if he doesn't like me? And I hated that feeling. Absolutely hated it. And so he brought me coffee, and I kept trying not to get my hopes up. Like maybe he's just being nice, or maybe you're just being nice. And then I asked him if he wanted to go get food. Or no, you asked me if I wanted to get food after church. And I said yes, but me not knowing that he liked me or really believing he liked me, I invited a whole bunch of people. You remember?
No, I don't remember.
Remember Jose, Cecil, my brother? We went to BJ's.
Oh yeah.
I invited a whole bunch of people.
Oh yeah, that's when we were trying to pretend like you was mine. When you were talking about
That's the second time.
Oh yeah.
This is the second time. It was literally like just supposed to be me and you. Like you asked me to go eat after you brought me coffee, and I invited a whole bunch of people. And then I remember because I was sitting across the table from you, and it dawned on me because I looked up at you and you were just quiet and you were eating your food, and it dawned on me. I was like, dang, I think this was just supposed to be us. And then you gave me your jacket after. When we were leaving.
Oh yeah.
You gave me your jacket. And then I remember telling myself, if he texts me it was Monday, and I was like, if he texts me today, then Tiana, like, he likes you, because there's no reason, he has no reason to text you on a Monday. So I was just like, then he likes you. And I remember that Monday you text me, asked me how my day was going. And that's when we started talking about Festival of Lights, and that's when all, you know, dating and stuff. What you about to, what the heck? Why is that you screaming?
It makes me laugh every time so when I'm upset with Tiana, because sometimes it makes my stress levels go up, especially with all this planning and obviously still learning and growing. Sometimes, honestly, like there's like just recently where I was pretty upset with her, but as soon as I seen this picture, I started laughing. But
that is so funny.
All right.
That is so funny.
Yeah. So then, as it got closer to Christmas Eve, I remember she had texted me and she was talking to me about like what was my plans for Christmas Eve, because I didn't really have any plans. And she started telling me about the Festival of Lights
in Riverside.
And I actually never been to it. I've always wanted to go, but just never went to, or went to it. So then I asked her, I was like, can I go with you? But then I was like, wait, and then I texted her and I was like, wait, can I take you? And then she was like, sure, why not?
I said, is that a date?
Yeah, and then she said, is that a date? And then I was like, it's like 2 mutual friends, you know.
And I was like, you're not gonna waste my time.
So at first she was like, okay, whatever. And then, because at this time it was like, I didn't know. Like, I didn't know for sure. I was still like, but basically what happened was, before we went on the date, she was like, I don't care what you say, this is a date. And I was like, what?
I said, sir, you're not gonna waste my time. I don't do 2 friends.
She wasn't.
I don't do 2 friends going out and it's a date.
So when we finally agreed that it was going to be a date, I told her that we possibly won't be going on this date, or we possibly will be, because
he said, let me go ask.
I said, let me go ask Apostle, because Pops told me that Pops is Apostle. He told me
our pastor and Apostle at our church,
Sherman Dumas,
our dad,
and our spiritual mom, Jaquette Dumas. But I talked to Apostle, and because he told me earlier in the year, he was like, son, like basically you don't go on no dates without letting me know, because obviously he wants to give me wise counsel and make sure that you know, when I'm making big decisions in my life, that I'm not making them on my own.
Cherry left.
Yeah, go ahead and eat it, girl.
You don't want it?
No, I don't want it. Okay. So I asked the Apostle, and it was funny because he was like, when I texted him, he was like, call me. Usually that's what happens. I be texting the Apostle, he'd be like, you got a moment to talk? Or he'd be like, call me. So I called him, and he was just like, how did this happen? And I was like, we started working together, and you know, just building interest. But he basically gave me the green light, and he was like, yeah, he's been no supporting us from day one. Yeah, he's been supporting us since day one. You know, he obviously gave me some pointers, and you know, basically to be careful with certain situations, and just to, you know, take things slow and get to know her, and yeah, and then we went on our first date. Wow, you did on purpose?
No. It was the best date ever, though, I'm not gonna lie. Like, that was the best first date I've ever had. And I remember we went on our first date, and he picked me up at my parents' house, because I lived in LA, but our church is in San Bernardino. So on Sundays, I'm at my parents' house pretty much. So he picked me up from my dad's house, my mom and dad's house. And did we go to the movies first?
No, we didn't go to the movies. Oh, actually, we did go to the movies. We watched, what did we watch?
We went to see that movie with The Rock and Kevin Hart. Jurassic.
Oh, yeah, that was hilarious.
What's it called? Jumanji.
Jumanji, yeah.
We went to the movie. He picked me up, and I got him a Christmas gift because it was Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
And I love this story.
That's so funny. Yeah.
So I got him a Christmas gift because sometimes he sleeps in his car because he works so many jobs, and at the time, and kind of now, but he told me one day we were on the phone, and he told me that one day it was so cold, like in the morning, that it woke him up before he was supposed to get up for work. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna get him a gift, which is crazy, blows my mind, because I don't think this way naturally, to be like, oh, I'm gonna get this guy a gift that I'm going on a date with. And so I was like, I'm gonna get him a gift, and I went to Target, and I was like, I'm gonna get him a blanket, which you still have, right? Yep. Okay. I was like, I'm gonna give him a blanket.
It almost looks like this one.
Yeah, it almost looks like
kind
that.
of.
But not.
But not.
And so I got him a blanket, and I got this big old gift bag, and when he picked me up, I brought it with me, and I told him, I was like, oh, I got you a gift, and he kept up.
I was like, why?
He was like, why'd you give me a gift? He was like, I'm sorry I didn't get you a gift. He was like, I didn't want to, make it awkward or anything like that. And I was like, oh, it's okay. I was like, I don't know why I got you a gift, honestly. I was like, I never get anybody gifts like that, but I was like, I just really wanted to. So I was like, it's no big deal, and I genuinely felt that way. So we go on our date, we go to the movies, then we went to get coffee, and then we went to the Festival of Lights.
We rode on the horse.
We rode on the horse. We met a whole other couple.
Cool couple.
And then we just had a really good day, and then we went to eat.
We were supposed to go to that burger place.
We were supposed to go, yeah. Started crying.
Yeah.
You said I started crying first.
Okay. Well, she was. Well, I don't know who was crying first.
He was crying first.
I think we was both crying at the same time. No, but yeah, I think we just.
We teared up a little bit. We wasn't like boo-hoo crying. We were just
no, he was boo-hoo crying.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah, she was, girl. He was like, why am I crying like this?
Oh gosh.
Yeah, she did that.
Whatever. We were crying.
I'm trying to play it.
But I do remember feeling like, because everything that I've been through, I pretty much like put walls over my heart when it came to like dating anybody or even wanting to be married. And I remember sitting there and looking across the table, and I just felt safe, and I could feel like the walls fall like around my heart. And I remember I was staring at the table, across the table at him, and I remember thinking like, dang, I think I'm gonna marry this man.
Dang, I was thinking that mouse playing, but
you trying to play me?
Nah, I was definitely thinking about marrying her.
I remember you were like, this feels good.
Yeah. No, we both agreed that this felt like a safe place, because like she was saying, we were just expressing our love and our appreciation for our community and our you know, our leadership, and I was saying, I mean, we were both checking in, and it was just it was a great date. You know, went to the movies, got some coffee, got some food. The food was great too. We got some Caesar salad and a mixture of everything else. But no, I think the conversation was the highlight of our night. Just being transparent and open, and being able to just be our genuine self, and just expressing our feelings, you know. And
then he goes to drop me off at my dad's house.
Oh yeah.
And I get out the car, and he gave me a hug and like walked me to the gate. And then he goes, wait, I forgot something. And he goes to the trunk of his car and he pulls out a gift, because he lied to me and said he didn't get me a Christmas gift, but he did.
So the whole time she thought I didn't, because I said I didn't, but.
And that was just like the icing on the cake. Like, I was like, wow, this date was already perfect, and this just made it like even more perfect. And I remember I went inside, and I was just like, couldn't believe it. I literally felt like, wow, this was like amazing. And I opened the gift, and it was like a humidifier, like oil diffuser, that I had been wanting one for a while and never mentioned it to him, but he got it, and it just blew my mind. And I was just like, I'm gonna marry him. I'm marry him, man.
Yeah, and then it was funny because the next day I went over to her house, and it was Christmas, and she was, you know, she came outside.
Why did you come over to bring me my Snuggie?
Oh yeah, because you know I said earlier she'd be cold all the time, so even when we went on a date,
everywhere.
she'd take her Snuggie or a blanket, you know, so she could stay warm. So I was going to drop it off, and when I went out there, she came out, and I was like, tell your brothers to come out, because I just didn't want it to just be us out there just talking while her family's inside. So her brothers came out, we started talking and whatnot. Then next thing you know, I seen her dad pop out the door, and you know, I gave him one of those, you know, hi, because he gave me one of those, you know. So then he went back inside. So we're talking some more outside, and then her dad comes out again, and the second time he comes out, he comes all the way out the gate. He
told everybody to leave.
Listen, this guy, like, whoa. When he got there, he was like, hey, I need y'all to shake. And I was like, oh my gosh, in my head, I'm like, why you didn't tell me he was finna come out here? And then it was funny because Marcus and Mike, her brother, they were laughing on their way as they were leaving. And then the first thing he tells me, he was like, so I heard you guys went on a date, you know, I heard you and my daughter, you know, went on a date. And I was like, yes sir. And then he was like, so what is this? Is this interesting? And then it's like, and I was trying to tell him like, yes, this is interesting because, you know, I'm interested. And then he cut me off, and he was like, oh, so you're saying all the right things. And then so basically, and he was like, look, I don't mean to offend you or, you know, or anything like that, but this is my daughter, and I just gotta do what I have to do. And I was like, I understand, sir. So he was like, if she bleed, you bleed.
Yeah,
and
I was just started like, threatening him. I was like, bro.
I was like, I understand, sir. And out of respect, you know, I totally got it. But
my dad isn't the biggest.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but in my petty moment in my head, I was laughing because I'm like, I mean, because Pops, all the respect, I love you, and I honor you, and I respect your words. But in my head, I'm just like, Pops, you're like,
he's 6'5", my dad's like 5'9".
Yeah, so yeah, it was funny to me.
It was pretty funny. I was just like, what's happening?
Yeah, but after that,
the rest is history, you think?
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for listening to our story. Yeah. Okay, I always feel weird doing this, but subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. Like this video, share, comment, tell us about, you know, tell us how, you know, you met your significant other or your boyfriend or girlfriend. Yeah, and we're gonna link our wedding website below so you can check out our story. You can also see our engagement video and read a little bit about our bridesmaids and groomsmen and whatnot. And we also got our registry listed if you want to, you know, bless us.
Yes, we need blessing in 3 areas.
Listen. And so, yeah, thank you guys for listening. I'm excited to share our journey with you. And I'm excited to be on this journey with you.
Oh, with me?
So fake.
Yeah, I'm excited too, so.
Come on.
It's a little plain now.
I love you.
I love you too. Bye. Just say bye.
That's it.
Wow.
We'll figure it out, babe.
You'll figure it out.
Wow.
All that I ask is today let me sit in my sorrow. Promise I'll be better tomorrow. The one that you love hasn't changed. It's just one of them days. Oh, it's just one of them days. Oh, it's just one of them days. That was a good one.